Right now on the Extra Point, history in the desert. Diana Taurasi scores her 10,000th WNBA point. Plus, the Pac-12 on the brink.
The conference is already going to dissolve anyways.
How quickly could Arizona and Arizona State make a move to the Big 12? The latest on conference realignment. And the D-backs in danger of falling out of the playoff race after losing their mojo in San Francisco. All that and more right here, right now on the Extra Point. Here we go. Good evening and welcome to this historic edition of the Extra Point. I'm Mark McClune. Diana Taurasi was already the WNBA's all-time leading scorer coming into tonight, but she woke up this morning just 18 points shy of becoming the first WNBA player ever to reach the 10,000 career points mark in the third quarter tonight against Atlanta. DT making history.
Taurasi, three. Diana's done it. She is one of one. Taurasi is now the league's first 10,000-point scorer career.
All right, that was the moment she made it happen. Sydney Brunson on the call. She was already the WNBA's all-time leading scorer with 2,500 more points than the second leading scorer, Tina Thompson. After the game, Taurasi was presented with a video from legends and major figures throughout her career congratulating her. People like Magic Johnson, Steve Nash, Billie Jean King, and her wife Penny Taylor. Then it was DT's turn to talk about her incredible accomplishment.
You know, the last couple days, I've really been thinking about why I still play basketball, why I still show up every day, and I still don't know why. Moments like this that you share with a whole city, with teammates that have been teammates for years, some for days, and to see just how much everyone enjoys it makes me feel really, really good. And there's people that have been here since day one. Obviously, my parents who are here. They were overserved today, so excuse them. To my agent, Lindsay, and Remy and Drew, since day one they've been with me. Seth Solka, who's in the crowd, who's the GM that actually took me number one. I could have easily went number 3 and ended up somewhere else, so I'm very grateful to Seth and his whole family, and just the whole Phoenix organization and this city who is, damn, you guys are great. I mean, you know, it's easy when we're the best team in the league. These are the dog days. This is when it's really, really hard, and we really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting us. I mean, that means more than anything. And I'm just thankful that I've gotten this opportunity to do it in front of you guys for 19 years. And I'm just really, really thankful to the game of basketball. It's what I love. It's my passion. It makes me feel good every single day. And I can't wait, you know, for all the good things to come, not only for this team, but for the WNBA in the future. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was an Arizona sports night to remember, and our Julia Lopez was there for all of it. Julia, what was the atmosphere like inside the Footprint Center tonight?
Hey, Mark, yeah, it was absolutely electric. Over 7,500 in attendance to watch the historic night. Diana Taurasi only needing 18 points, but she crushed that number with a game-high 42 points tonight at Footprint Center. DT finished with the first half with 10 points, needing just 8 more to hit the mark. And after the break, we saw vintage Taurasi, the GOAT, in action, hitting a layup and then back-to-back threes, which was a historic triple. Her teammates rushed the court in celebration. Now, D was locked in and couldn't be stopped in the second half. She's had quite the journey to get to where she's at today, the best to ever play the game, and she'd do it all over again.
No, I wouldn't change a thing. You know, every moment led to another moment, led to another moment. You know, throughout this journey that, you know, started way before the WNBA, way before UConn. It started in my driveway. It really did. It was just innocent. It was naive. There was no goal. There was no plan. There was no speaking English. It was just a kid who liked to play basketball in her front yard, and everyone was welcome to come and play.
Yeah, her reminiscing about her growing up was awesome. That video that you saw was her and her mom and dad hugging each other after the game. So two important aspects right there with how good she is and just the amount of time that they spent with her in the front yard. But obviously a historic day here at Footprint Center. Diana Taurasi, that 10,000-point milestone, and she's going to be standing alone for a while, Mark.
Yeah, for sure. So cool to see that shot of her mom and dad and Diana after the game. So you were there, you were watching it. What was the crowd like? Because this hasn't been the best year. There hasn't been a ton to cheer about for the Mercury. So, you know, having this moment, the X Factor, what do you think it meant to them?
Yeah, so it just injected energy here. I think the Mercury obviously needed it. They headed in with just 6 wins on the season. So getting to celebrate, getting to see, you know, just the face of the Mercury for so many years. This is her 19th season. And for her to do it in front of the hometown crowd behind her, she was just locked in. And it was just so amazing to see that vintage DT that we've all, loved to see. And her just bringing it in front of the fans and everybody that's close to her tonight.
Yeah, good stuff. Joey Lopez watching history in downtown Phoenix. Appreciate that report. Let's take a look at the highlights. The Mercury trying to snap a 4-game losing skid after a 7-0 run by Atlanta to start. Diana had that look in her eye, and she would for sure stop the bleeding. Got the Mercury on the board with the corner 3. Nothing but net. It's 7-3. A little later in the corner, it's Michelle Onyenwerde hits the triple to give Phoenix its first lead, 13-11, still in the first quarter. Then how about Shug Sutton? Looking ahead, the nice pass to Sophie Cunningham up top for the bucket. Mercury lead by 6. We jump ahead to the second quarter now. Former Arizona Wildcat Ari McDonald showing the moves right here to give the Dream the 28-25 lead. A couple minutes later, here come the Merc. Also Taurasi, turnaround baseline jumper. Phoenix goes on top 33-32. Then DT gets the bucket and the foul, the hoop and the harm. She gets hacked in the act for the three-point play. DT with a team high 10 points at the break. The Mercury were up 42-36 at the half. Taurasi came out of the break with tunnel vision, the easy layup, and then hits back-to-back threes on this historic night. The historic shot coming in the third quarter. 18 points she needed on the night to get to 10,000, and she smashed that. Here's the history-making shot once again. The first player in WNBA history to do it. 10,000 points. The Mercury end up winning by 20, 91-71, ending a 4-game losing skid. Taurasi, 42 points. At 41 years old, her first 40-point game since, listen to this, 2010. No other Mercury player even reached double digits.
She was actually calling a lot of the sets herself that were going to get her the shots. And there were times where I was calling the sets to get her the shots, and she just looked at me and was like, yep, that's what we're doing. So just to be able to witness this tonight, I mean, it was truly special, and she did it in the only the way that Diana Taurasi could do it. 42 points at 41 years old? You guys, we have never seen anything like this. It was so much fun.
Yeah, Nikki Blue saying she's actually younger than Taurasi and grew up playing AAU against her. Fun night in downtown Phoenix. No rest for the GOAT. Hopefully she's out celebrating right now. Phoenix Mercury back at it again on Saturday, hosting Seattle at the Footprint Center. You can watch that game live on 3TV. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock local time. As of tonight, the Pac-12, as we know it, still exists, but it could be only a matter of hours before that changes. The Arizona Board of Regents holding another short-notice meeting tonight, going directly into executive session, ending the public portion of the meeting. But it's widely believed they're in the final stages of approving a move to send both Arizona and Arizona State to the Big 12. Earlier this evening, the Big Ten commissioner gave approval to explore extending invitations for Oregon and Washington to join that conference. If that happens, they join USC and UCLA, while Colorado has already solidified plans to return to the Big 12 in 2024. For ASU, it hasn't always been an obvious decision to jump, but our friend Chris Cartman at Sun Devil Source reports they were thinking about it tonight, but ASU President Michael Crow may have to be dragged across the finish line. Cartman joined the Extra Point podcast to walk through how Arizona went about getting ASU on board.
All of these things, I think what have led to Robbins, Arizona's president, being able to tell Crow, look, this is kind of what I was saying all along. Pac-12 numbers weren't going to come through on media rights, going to be making a lot less money. The conference is already going to dissolve anyways because eventually the Big Ten is going to take these other teams at a minimum, Washington and Oregon, which are remaining properties. Can't really expand the way that you want to when San Diego State and other teams have to pay these enormous amounts of money to exit their own conferences. So what really is the alternative option? And I believe that Crow was hoping that Kliavkoff would be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat that would make the numbers close enough to the Big 12 that even if it wasn't as good, you could sell the idea that with college football playoff expanding and the ability to get automatic bids to that with the top 6 conferences in the standings, that was enough to sort of overcome some of these other challenges that they were going to have. But that appears to really no longer be the case. And I also think that the SEC, the Big Ten, they're going to continue to leverage their power as much as they can, which they've done to this point, to try to make sure that they get as many of their teams into the playoff as possible. And that could also hurt whatever's left, whatever would have been left, I should say, of the Pac whatever.
Excellent conversation. Pick it up on the podcast page. Still ahead on the extra point, the Diamondbacks against the wall. Arizona trying to close out their trip to San Francisco with a much-needed win. Highlights and a look at the standings when we come back. Back on the extra point, the Arizona Diamondbacks looking to wrap up their series against the Giants with a win after dropping 2 in a row. They needed the bats to wake up in the city by the bay after a Corbin Carroll leadoff single in the first. Emmanuel Rivera swings to the first pitch, and that's a 6-4-3 double play. And the Diamondbacks out of the inning to the third now. Carroll up now with runners on. He swings to the first pitch and grounds into another double play. Brandon Pfaadt got the start for the D-backs, and he struggled this season. Not today. He was great. Pitched 7 innings, struck out 7 while only giving up 2 hits. One of those hits came in the 4th on a mistake to Lamont Wade Jr., who deposits it into the arcade over the right field wall. The Giants take a 1-0 lead at this point as this one is high and deep and gone. It's the same score, 1-0. 2 on for Rivera in the 8th. And he will line one up the middle. It hits Giants pitcher Taylor Rogers. Rogers throws out Rivera at first, and that will end the rally. The Diamondbacks snake bit today. Still 1-0. We head to the 9th. 2 on for newcomer Jace Peterson. Could Jace get on base? No. He flies out to end the game. The Diamondbacks shut out by the Giants, who get the win after scoring just 1 run all day. The D-backs offense just couldn't get going. They're now 4-14 since the All-Star break. After the game, manager Torey Lovullo saying he knows his team is better than the results they've been putting up.
We're always looking for somebody to be the catalyst and get that big hit and just get us over that hump for that moment, that day. But it isn't just one thing one day. There's several things that are going on each day offensively. It is a very capable offense, but we got to continue to build innings. And I'm getting tired of just the one opportunity per game that we can score a crooked number. We're good enough to put up a lot of points in every inning, and I want everybody to remember that.
The Diamondbacks still in the wild card race. So are the Phillies and Marlins, who played each other today in Miami. The Phillies get the scoring start in the top of the second. A 2-run home run by JT Realmuto in the bottom of the second. Take a look at this. Jake Berger at the plate with the pop-up here. All 4 Philly infielders converge on the ball. I got it. Trey Turner trips, but still makes the catch. The Marlins would muster a couple of runs, but it wasn't enough. Philadelphia wins 4-2, helping the D-backs gain a little ground in the wild card race. Arizona is still on the outside looking in with the Miami loss. The Brewers off today. The D-backs are just a game and a half out of that 3rd and final wild card spot. The Giants putting even more distance on the cut line, now leading the wild card race by 2.5 games. The unofficial start of the football season is a dark one. The Jets taking on the Browns in the Hall of Fame game. Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson both sitting this one out for their respective teams. A power outage in the fourth quarter. Dorian Thompson-Robinson slings it to Aaron Watkins Jr. after the lights came back on. The Browns lead 21-16. Last chance for the Jets. Xavier Gibson is going to pick off the pass to seal it. And the Browns going to take this one in Canton, Ohio tonight over the Jets 21-16. Still ahead here on the Extra Point. Michael Jordan is out of the NBA again. How much his ownership stake in the Charlotte Hornets was worth and how much that valuation grew in his 13 years as owner when we come back. Hey, back on the Extra Point, Michael Jordan is no longer an NBA owner after the sale of his majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets finalized today. Jordan bought the franchise for $275 million back in 2010. After 13 seasons, he sold the stake at a $3 billion valuation. He didn't find much success as an owner, with Charlotte going 423-600 during his tenure, but he certainly cashed out. Play of the night, back to our lead story. Diana Taurasi, the cold-blooded three over a double team, nothing but net. Taurasi becomes the first player in WNBA history to score 10,000 career points. She left no doubt, needed 18 points. She scored 42 points as a 41-year-old, leading the Mercury to the win. Congrats to the greatest player of all time in the WNBA. Hope you're celebrating, DT. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Family. Watch us live wherever you are. Our mobile and streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and Android TV. Subscribe on YouTube for live breaking news and video on demand.